Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Donnie, and today I'm going to be reviewing this epoxy kit from Hippie Crafter. I will link their products down below in the description box down here. So this is what came, and we are going to open it up. This came quite a while ago, but I have had the hardest time trying to find something that I want to make out of resin. And this is 2-part resin, not UV, and I've never used it before. I watched many videos on how to do it, and I finally feel confident enough to make this video for you. Alright, so these are very large. Oh my goodness, whoa. It comes nicely packaged, lots of foam peanuts, and it came with this pamphlet for the instructions. Make sure there's nothing else in the box. Nothing else. Alright, so look at this. It's clear epoxy, and you can see this one's purplish colored blue, and this one's clear. It comes out clear. But the bottles they have different colors. It does say this is the hardener and this is the resin. So this is 32 ounces in each. So that's 2 quarts, which is quite a bit. It does look like this one may have leaked just a little bit. And that could be because, well, the seal broke. That's what it looks like. But it wasn't a lot, and I've kept this box upright, so I probably should go wash my hands. Okay, I have returned, and I have gloves. Just in case. I know it's not good to touch epoxy. So I went over the directions, and a lot of the directions they have here are for large pours, like for tables and whatnot, which makes sense because these are very big containers. Okay, so I did read over them, and I'm going to get started. I'm going to go get all my supplies, and we'll be right back, and I'll show you what we're going to make. All right, so the supplies I have gathered are my epoxy. I have got a silicone spatula, and I've got a tray. I don't know what to call it, but a tray for holding these so they're not laid directly on there. I have a small mixing rod. This is metal inside with silicone on the outside. I have a measuring spoon, not sure if I'm going to need it. I have a toothpick in case I need to pop bubbles. I am in the process of moving, so a lot of my supplies got packed, and one of those supplies is the torch I bought for this specific reason. And also all of my glitter has been packed, and I wanted to use glitter for this project, but I did find these packs of small amounts of glitter, so I may do 2 parts. To do what we're going to make. I may do 2 different colors with the glitter and kind of make an ombre effect. Ombre? So I'm going to probably pick the pink and purple colors, or the magenta, and maybe that is 2 magentas, I don't know. They do kind of look a little different. Maybe I'll pick a couple colors, blue and maybe the blue and magenta right here. I think I'll do that. I'll do those 2 colors. And I have my alcohol wipes. They should be 99%, but 70% is all I was able to get. I have some release spray for my mold. And I think, oh yes, I have some cups. because we need something a little bigger than one of the little tiny silicone mixing bowls that I have for what we're going to be doing. So let me just pull some out of here. All right, I've got 4 cups here because I'm going to use 2 of them to pour my resin and my hardener into of equal parts, so I can make sure I've got the right parts. These have some lines on them, so I want to make sure I'm pouring exact amounts, because this is 1-to-1 by volume. It's a little different if you're going by weight. So, and then I will mix them together and then pour them back into the other cup, just to make sure to get every last piece of the materials, to make sure it's completely mixed perfectly, because I know what I've seen what can happen if you do not mix. You have equal amounts. And after it's mixed, I will pour in my glitter. So I will do that for the two different colors of glitter. All right, and once I start pouring, I am going to turn my fan on because of the odors, and I don't want to have anything happen to my lungs. So I might just fast forward to show the process of pouring it, just because I'm just going to kind of show you what we're just testing out this epoxy anyway. Oh, the mold. I actually made this mold. It's got some pieces in there, so just ignore that. That's inside. It's not on the outside. I'm going to wipe this down first. I wanted to make a double set so I could do 2 at once. And I took one of these trays that I had gotten in one of my kits, and I bought some silicone. Trust me, that was a process in itself. But I made this mold out of it. And I wanted to do 2 side by side. I didn't have enough because I bought, the total amount that I bought for the silicone was only 7 ounces. So just for future reference, if you're going to make a mold, this is about what 7 ounces of silicone will make. So yeah, I'm going to wipe this down because I know there were little bits that got onto the surface of this part, and this is the most important part to keep clear, because that's where the drills line up, are on these spots. So I need to make sure they are clear of any debris, and the edges here. Oh, but what I was saying is I barely had enough silicone to make this mold, so the walls are super thin here on the bottom. I'm not sure how long this mold will last because that is so thin. If there were to get any kind of puncture to it, yeah, it would be done. Yeah, you don't need to clean the bottom off really, but you know, you want to have as level as a surface as possible. So I'm just making sure I have every little bit of any kind of dust or anything off of this mold before I spray it with the silicone release spray. And yeah, maybe someday I'll make another mold again and show you how I did it, but for now this is going to do because it took me way too long to get this. All right, let us begin.
Oh my god.
Right. Now, as you can see, I made a huge mess. Oh man, you can tell I'm not an expert whatsoever on this. I'm gonna clean this mess up. Even though, you know, they do suggest that you work in a ventilated area, whatnot. I don't smell anything. So, I mean, if I do, it's just a very slight odor, but it's not strong whatsoever. I'm not going to be able to do the multiple colors because obviously I overestimated when pouring because I probably should have done half this amount. That being said, since I didn't mix these two together, I can actually put these back into the container, and this is going to have to be thrown away because you cannot keep resin that's already been mixed. I'm still watching it for bubbles, but the bubbles are actually rising to the top, and that's why I zoomed you in so you could possibly see how it looks like soda, you know, like when the bubbles come to the top in your soda drink and they pop. It's doing it all over the place. Some of these bigger ones need a little bit of help. As you saw me, because it may have looked, you know, like I said, I am no professional. So, oh, here, I made another mess. Trying to just clean off with the alcohol wipe. Just trying to clean off the edge here a little bit. But I over poured. I didn't just over measure. I over poured, and it was doming. So, you know, to save me from having to do a lot of sanding when it's done, I just kind of scooped some layers out and just mixed it up a little bit, and you know, hopefully that works. But yeah, this is gonna be something for myself because there is no way on earth anyone is going to want this disaster. And you know, like I said, this is my very first attempt with two-part epoxy, so you know, that's fine. I didn't expect anyone to use me as a tutorial, maybe a what not to do. But the whole point of this video is to talk about and show this Hippie Crafter resin. And from what I've watched and everything with the odor, that was a big surprise to me. I wasn't expecting it not to smell as much as it didn't, you know. And the bubble thing, that is pretty darn cool. I don't know if others do that, but seeing that there's self-rising bubbles, because that was something I noticed when I did the mold, when I used the silicone. After I poured it, I saw bubbles popping to the top, and it said no bubbles, you know, all that stuff. That was how it was advertised, and it was pretty cool how the bubbles came to the top and popped. And to see that happening here, I guess that's called self-degassing. I don't know. Let's see, on the bottle it says remove air bubbles, optional. Once you have poured a single layer of epoxy, use a heat source to remove any air bubbles. And you need to let it sit for 4 to 10 hours before applying your next coat. And that would be if you were doing like tables or surfaces. Epoxy will dry to the touch in approximately 12 hours and will fully cure in up to 7 days. And at that point, that's when you can sand them. So properly done epoxy items take a long time to go from start to finish. So don't discount anyone who sells anything that's epoxy, you know, that does resin work, because it takes a good amount of time from start to finish, not only with the mixing, getting the ratio right, and pouring, and accommodating for any errors like my mess here, and my over pour, and I've got a rip in my glove, so I guess that's my indication that I should end this portion, and we will come back tomorrow. I'm going to let it sit for 24 hours, and then we will take a look at it. So we are back with a completed and finished piece. Look at how shiny that is. I saw this and I was in awe of how beautiful that turned out. Of course, I haven't opened it yet, so let's do that now and find out what it looks like. So I used release spray, as you may have seen, and it's coming off very nicely. So see how well it comes out of the I'm holding my breath here. Oh, I guess I need to figure a way to make sure that it gets poured on the sides completely, because I have a little bubble there, but man, oh, and there's another one there. So that's just me and my inexperience with doing resin, but my gosh, this looks gorgeous. But yeah, this is super. The walls are thicker on this side, so I guess it has to do with my mold and the way I made it. Even though it's molded fine, I just need to figure out how to make sure to get all the resin down on the side here, because it's completely super thin here. But look how pretty this is. I don't even need to sand it. I mean, I need to trim it a bit here on the bottom, because again, that's because of my mold and how I had excess on the sides. So it's going over a bit right here. But look at the quality of this. I mean, if there's bubbles in it, you know, I don't see them. I mean, these may have been bubbles, but this, I think, it still has more to do with the fact that the mold being the way it was, and when I poured it, because it's completely not even attached here at the base. I want to put some drills in here to try it out, to see, you know, if the lanes are nice and able to hold drills in them, because man, wouldn't you love to see these in the shop? Look at that. I mean, and I think the ratio of glitter to resin turned out perfect, even though it was, you know, I poured too much resin to begin with, but the bottom is nice and flat. There's no wobble to it, no warps. Man, that's pretty. Okay, let me get some drills and we will check it out. Okay, I have brought out some squares and some round drills. They're from two different kits, obviously. So let's do this. Squares. Oh yeah, they're falling out my holes. Let's see. How am I going to do this? Let me just hold it like that. And I'll do it this way. There we go. But this is actually more to attune to the mold itself, because this is not a store-bought mold, since I made it myself. But look at that. They sit in there great. They're the right size. It's just so neat how I was able to take this plastic tray and turn it into this, if you ignore that. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. All right, so I love this epoxy, especially, well, I have seen my daughter, she has been doing epoxy molds, pouring, I guess you could say, into molds. And she shows it to me every day after she's done it. And the stuff she has is so tacky, even, you know, after curing for the recommended time. And this stuff is just super smooth. I mean, I am personally extremely shocked that I don't need to polish it and that there's no tack whatsoever. I mean, this is really quality. I mean, it would just need to be trimmed up and it would be good to go. I'm kind of sad that this happened, but I can make another one. And I will actually just see about showing that one after, if I get it done before this video goes up. But look at that, it's so pretty. Very good. I am super happy. When I need to buy two-part again, I will definitely be getting this brand. I am super impressed. So I will leave a link for you guys down below, and I believe you can get it on Amazon as well as their website. I will do a little research on that and leave links for that as well. But man, I am super excited. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you guys in my next video. Have fun diamond painting, and don't forget to always sparkle wherever you go and whatever you do. Take care, everyone. Bye.